to be vulnerable. I promise you it is. It's okay to communicate. It's okay to admit that you don't know how to communicate properly.
You are listening to It's All Mental Podcast, a show that empowers Black and brown females on how to maintain good mental health through personal and real-life experiences. Each week, we explore various topics that any female can relate to. I am your host, licensed professional counselor, and owner of Glass Seats, Pamela Smith.
Hey everybody, this is actually my first live, so hopefully it goes well. This morning I saw a clip where Brandon Marshall, Channing Crowder, and Ocho Cinco were talking about the death of Vincent Jackson. I'm not sure if he was a teammate or not, but I know he was an NFL player. So the things that Brandon said to them, it was just spot on, but it was very impactful to me and for me on a personal level as well as on a professional level. I'm a mental health therapist and I work with Black and brown females for the most part. And I also work with Black couples. And I would say 98% of the time, what I see, regardless if it's in their past, their present, is the difficulty with communication. And what it is it starts from childhood. It really honestly does. And I also believe it's a generational thing because, our parents, as Brandon Marshall said, you have the difference between a boy and a girl. If the girl gets hurt, we as society naturally, we coddle her, make sure she's okay, tell her it's going to be all right, hugs, kisses, all the things. If a boy falls and hurts himself, it's get up, be a big boy, don't cry, and so that carries on into adulthood, and it actually stomps or stops the emotional growth because you're taught this as a child. You get into adolescence, of course, boys aren't supposed to cry there either. Then you get into young adulthood, no, you a man, you're not supposed to cry. Then you get into adulthood, into adult relationships, i.e. marriage or parenthood or work relationships or whatever, and you're not supposed to show emotion there either as a Black man. And we know how hard of a job, I've always said, the hardest job in the world is to be a Black man, right? I am not one, nor have I ever been one, but from what I can see, I truly believe that. And then the Black female comes right behind it. So I want to make sure that if it's just one person out there, I want all my Black brothers to know it is so okay to be vulnerable. I promise you it is. It's okay to communicate. It's okay to admit that you don't know how to communicate properly or in a positive manner. We talk about generational curses and generational this and generational that. From generation to generation, things change. Let's be this generation that teaches our kids and our grandkids, our nieces, our nephews, and each other how to talk to one another without it being such a negative stigma on good mental health, having positive communications, knowing how to have positive confrontations. That's something else. People shy away from confrontation because they view it as it being negative, or they've been told that they're sensitive. And let me tell you something, being sensitive is not a bad thing. All sensitive means is that you are more highly attuned than the next person who isn't. That's it. So you can put a negative or a positive spin on that however you want to. I work primarily with Black and brown women and Black couples. I am going to include in my target audience Black men because I do want to be able to help them understand that it is okay, one, to not know how to do something. It's okay to be vulnerable or to feel vulnerable. But most importantly, I want to be able to help someone, if it's only one person, learn how to communicate in a positive manner, in a proper manner, and take away the stigma from mental health is not good. Mental health is a part of who you are. You have your whole body. You have physical health, you have mental health. They coincide, they go together. So let's start looking at this as, one and done and getting it together. So that's my spiel for this morning. Thank you guys.
Thanks for listening to It's All Mental Podcast. If you could do us a favor and leave a review on Apple Podcast, that would be great. Until next week, I am your host, Pamela Smith.